Video blog.
Hey there, this is Tim from Twice Circled, and welcome to episode 18 of the official Megaquarium video blog. So this week, the main thing I have to show you is this new feature, which I will be able to show you as soon as these guys walk out the way. I think that'll work. So it's basically a new system for how pipes work. So currently, you have to always build your equipment directly next to the tank that it's feeding into, and that was fine when there's only kind of one filter, and it's still fine because there's still only just normal filters. But what you might not realize is I'm planning to expand this equipment section vastly, and so these are currently filters that apply mechanical and biological filtration, but I'm going to add a third type of filtration, which is skimming, protein skimming. And then of course we could add things like UV sterilizing and ozoning and things like this. And then of course once we have different temperatures you need for your fish, then you'll have heaters and coolers as well. So there's gonna be lots of this stuff, and it's just not practical to have this adjacency system, I think. And so I've worked on this new thing where you can actually route your equipment via a pipe, so it doesn't have to be next to it. And I also think this gives you some nice, some abilities to do some nice things. Like, for example, if we build a tank at the end of this little run, one other little thing I've done: whenever you're expanding or building walls, it automatically goes top down. I'll make this a setting so you can toggle it, but I do find it easier, and I think it will certainly be good for people kind of when they're learning the game, because it's a much more what's the word, intuitive to use the tool when you're top down. I possibly might adjust the way it looks as well, but I had some experiments and I couldn't find anything especially cool yet. Anyway, so this is surrounded on all sides but the front, so you can feed it on the front, that's fine, but how do we get any filtration to it? Well, if we build one of these medium filters, these filters actually work the same, but I've added this medium one here, which you can actually see an example here, which requires a pipe. And so what you can do is you can now place this anywhere, not just next to your things. So for example, we could place it over here, somewhere it's quite convenient for the staff to access it. Or we could even put it here so they can access both of these filters at the same time. And then when you do, you automatically get given this piping tool, right? Which I think looks pretty nice. Look at the way it kind of snakes around. And then if you basically click on a tank, that's now connected. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have right-clicked there. Basically, can you see how these values have now jumped up? So this is now being filtered by this filter. And in fact, this one was one that I built last week, but now I've changed these filters into the ones that need pipes. It's now not got a pipe. I'm quite surprised how robust the system is actually, that this works. So if we click this little icon which tells you it's not connected, again we get the little pipe system, and then we can connect it up. So there, this one now has its filters back. So at the moment this is a very low impact feature, and it's not going to have a big effect. For the most part, you'll probably just want to build your filters nearby anyway. But in the future, once we add bigger filters and eventually the ability to have multiple tanks connected to the same filtration system, this piping thing makes a lot more sense, right? It's a lot more necessary. So yeah, oh by the way, yeah, one of our groupers didn't get fed this week because we ran out of mussels, but luckily some more have just arrived. I'm just going to buy some more of everything. Right. And loads of points coming in, and quite a lot of ratings too. I'm not going to pay a huge amount of attention to this stuff. That's interesting. Decorations. Yeah, we probably need some more decorations because some people kind of don't get very far into our aquarium, so we can probably just want to put some extra decorations just at these front ones, just to make sure people see a bit more. Anyway, need a way of funneling people down this bit better. Anyway. So some of you, the gameplay designer, the backseat gameplay designers out there will be saying, well, what stops you from basically putting your filter down over here and running your pipe like that all the way over? And right now the answer is absolutely nothing. But I'm currently thinking about what to do about that. So one idea is to make you pay for the pipes. The problem is it does make it kind of frustrating. Like every time you pick up a pipe, a filter or a piece of equipment, you lose all of your pipes. And every time you pick up a tank, again, you lose your pipe. So kind of annoying. I was thinking another thing is that the further away the piece of equipment is, the lower the efficiency. So you've basically just got a constant negative modifier, and that would certainly squeeze you. That'd definitely make you want to build them closer. The other one is actually just to put a hard cap. So basically, depending on the pump, or that's attached, that's within your equipment, the longer the pipe can be. I'm torn out of those two. One of them is like a soft block, the other one is a hard block. The nice thing about the hard block is that you could eventually bring out a new range of filters which have really strong pumps, and that you can have very far away, because that might be convenient. Because I love this idea of having perhaps all of your filters in a special block where your mechanics, your mechanical staff, the people who fix your equipment, they could stay there with all of your equipment in almost like the engine room, and then these back areas will be much more where the aquarists go to feed stuff. So yeah, right now I know it's not a huge, it doesn't seem to be very impactful, but what you've got to understand is that I'm building features for the future, and it's in 3 to 6 months you will you will see all of these features that I'm putting in at the moment starting to pay dividends. So that I'm going to wrap up this vlog now. The only other thing worth telling you guys is that, as I've mentioned, I have new assets on the way. My artist started working on new fish earlier this week, and in the meantime what I did is, if you'll know this if you saw, if you follow me on Twitter, I've been working on a spreadsheet with all of the different animals in and done a huge rebalance, and actually I'm feeling really good about how it's going to go. You guys will have noticed that this game is not balanced at all, but there was just no point up until we got some more stuff in it. So once we start getting in the new fish, I'm rebalancing everything, and we'll have about 25 I think, once we get those in. Let me 1, 2, 3, 4, no, maybe around 20. Yeah, and it's going to feel really, really good. I think there's going to be a real sense of progression, unlocking new things, and so yeah, basically everything's going well. But yeah, this week basically I had a bit of, while I'm waiting for new artwork, I had a bit of downtime, so that's why I thought I would put in this pipe feature for the future. But right now, yeah, not hugely impactful. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.